I'm being sued right now.
Oh shit! What's going on?
It's a long story, but it involves this weirdo named Montagraph, who's been kind of plaguing my channel for what was like 3 years ago. I did an interview with Mr. Medicare because Montagraph was suing this other guy named Jake Morfinos for defamation. And so we were just laughing at his lawsuit. And then I get a phone call from this Montagraph guy, like to talk to me about my interview with Medicare. And he was really pissed off. And so I was like, okay, you're stupid. And I didn't think anything of it. Well, then he starts like making memes about me. And he's like, I'm part of the sweaty sausage squad or whatever. Look, I don't know, man. He's a weird guy. And he does this. And so I started looking into him. And Medicare had been talking to me about it. He was an independent film producer, and he produced this one movie called The Umbrella Man. And not to be confused with That Umbrella Guy, but The Umbrella Man is a fictional snuff film involving like a minor girl and all this stuff. And then he had this other video where he was like sexually assaulting a melon. Which is weird. He redid the 2 girls 1 cup video with a Barbie and a big pile of chocolate yogurt and stuff. And it's this really strange guy.
Okay.
And he was like throwing all these memes and making videos. He's like, I'm gonna make you famous, Nikki. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, I'm on YouTube. Let's make it happen. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, you're looking for views.
And then he just disappeared after a while. And I was like, okay. Well, then come to October of last year, I get kicked off of YouTube completely. My channel gets deleted for 3 days. And he pops up in my Rumble chat talking about how he's the reason I got canceled and all this stuff, which wasn't true. I could tell you exactly why. It was an activist who I'd pissed off who got me canceled from YouTube. But he was claiming victory for it and all this stuff. And so I just started making fun of him. And now I'm being sued for making fun of him live on air when he came to my chat to like talk a bunch of shit. I was talking shit right back.
So what is the point of like a kind of lawsuit like that? Because as just a layman, it doesn't seem like that would go anywhere. Like you seem to just be laughing at it. Like,
oh, well, it's ridiculous. It's a defamation suit and intentional infliction of emotional distress. There's all sorts of problems with the emotional distress claims in Minnesota. Like to prove those out, you have to go get like therapy. You have to get actual mental health damage. You can't just say, well, I was distressed. I missed a day of work. Like that's not how you prove that out.
Sure.
And he doesn't seem to have anything like that. I guess that could change if the suit goes on. But the defamation claims, it's loss of reputation. Typically that's associated with loss of income. Like you get fired from a job or you miss out on a contract that you would have otherwise gotten. He hasn't really alleged anything like that. He just alleges generally lost income. But hypothetically, if me saying, hey, this guy was on YouTube having sex with a honeydew melon, and that caused him to not get a job with like a produce company or something, I guess he could claim damages that way. But the reason I bring up this thing in this subject very specifically is not just shameless self-promotion, but I could have fought this thing on my own. Like I know how to fight a defamation case, but I'm not like a specialist. I'm just an asshole. And so I hired Mark Randazza, who's one of the premier defamation defense attorneys in the country. And he filed our motion to dismiss yesterday, and I'll be talking about it tonight. And when you read this motion to dismiss, it has extremely elaborate and intricate legal arguments I would had no concept of making. Like the amount of research I would have to do to get to what their basic plan seems to be is monumental. It would have taken me, dozens and dozens of hours to even come up with
how many hours it took.
Yeah.
Yep. And
attorneys are great about that.
He sent me the bill for it, and it's not little. It's not little at all.
No, best in the country. I bet that's a premium.
It's not cheap, but yeah, it's the crazy thing is, the funny thing to me is that now Montagraph's lawyer is because I have a feeling he's never done a defamation case, and if he has done one, it's not like this. I know his lawyer, actually. He's a lawyer in my town that he hired, and I know him, and they typically do workers' comp claims, but the legal argument that just got dropped in his lap that he's going to have to research is going to cost Montagraph a fortune, which is hilarious to me. It's great. It's like, okay, let's see you pay for that one, Monty, because my lawyer like had that idea, I think, because he knows this area of law so well. Your lawyer doesn't practice multi-state defamation law. And now he's going to have to go into like conflict of laws questions because Montagraph's from Colorado and I'm in Minnesota, and he's suing me in Minnesota probably to avoid the anti-SLAPP statute in Colorado because we don't have one. However, like the conflict of laws arguments says that Minnesota courts should apply the Colorado anti-SLAPP to him because his damage would have been suffered in Colorado. What damage would this idiot suffer in Minnesota? He doesn't have like a Minnesota business.
Oh, okay.
So he's clearly forum shopping. And so there's a very good argument that the laws of Colorado should be applied to him. And now his attorney, who's a Minnesota attorney, is going to be trying to argue conflict of laws and that Minnesota state law should apply to keep the lawsuit even alive at this point. Otherwise, it'll get dismissed and I'll get awarded fees. And that would be catastrophic for, Montagraph. But, if you just hire some guy out of the book here in Minnesota, if I would have just gone to anybody who doesn't specialize in defamation cases and specifically like nationwide defamation cases, I'd just get a bog standard defense on defamation. The same thing I could type up.
Montagraph is a child diddler. Montagraph he's on this thing where he's like emailing everybody I know now. Montagraph has always been into sucking little boy cock, which is weird, but that's his thing. Look, I'm not here to stop him. I'm just saying he should probably be shot in the fucking head. Montagraph, you're a fucking faggot. Everybody knows you're a faggot. Clip this all you want and sue me if you want, you fucking faggot, child molesting fucking faggot. Do that. How about you try that? I don't care about him.